Hey, bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. Alors, hop, la cam, le jeu. Hop, hop. Ici, ça marche. On remet ça là. Ok. Et maintenant le jeu, s'il va bien. Pourquoi le son est renommé son Honkai? Mais il y a le son. C'est pour. Ah oui, il y a eu l'anniversaire de collé aussi. Tac, annonce. Il y a un événement. Avec de décoction. Nous 40. Ouais, c'est ça. Je vais faire mon vœu. Ok. Hop. Bon, les primogèmes, on les met de côté. Tiens, je vais regarder ça, c'est quoi? Ah, ça ouvre une page internet. Super. Donc, vous voyez pas. Donc, il faut que je fasse ça, ça. Bon, là, vous voyez bien. Alors, commencer une synthèse. D'accord. On mélange. D'accord, j'ai obtenu ça. Ok. Hop. Obtenez 2 décoctions. Du coup, il faut que j'essaie d'en refaire une. Si je mets genre ça, un peu d'huile, ça et ça. Un baume. C'est bien. Maintenant que nous avons ajouté tout. Ah, je crois que c'était de la merde quand ça fait de la fumée. Aucune décoction. Ouais, j'ai eu ça. Ah, j'ai débloqué ça. D'accord, je dois découvrir des trucs. Les durées d'événements. Si je mets ça, ça et ça. C'est de la merde. Quand la fumée est noire, c'est de la merde. Du coup, je peux faire initialiser. Ça marche. Si je mets ça, ça et ça. Ok, c'est de la merde. Du coup, si je mets ça, ça et ça. Je sais pas s'il y a des logiques ou je sais pas. Ah, ça marche. Potion énergisante commandée par le grand général Mahamatra. Bon, allez. Fait 4 synthèses. Hop. Ah, du coup, c'est arrivé là-dedans. Bon, du coup, faut que je fasse mes quêtes quotidiennes aussi. Oh non, pas le truc avec le roman, il me saoule ce truc-là. Ils vont bientôt annoncer aussi les prochaines bannières. J'ai hâte de savoir ce qu'il va y avoir. Ça hésite beaucoup entre Kokomi, Lock, Li. Oh. Ok. Non, faut retourner là-bas. T'as quel plaisir d'avoir beaucoup de d'endurance. Hein? Oh, j'ai dépassé, j'ai pas fait gaffe. Ça c'est fait. Pourquoi je t'ai laissé bloquer Inazuma déjà? Ouais, parce que je traîne beaucoup à Inazuma, c'est pour ça. J'ai quelques quêtes de réputation à faire aussi. Oh, je pensais que c'était la plateforme là. Oh, les anomalies. Faut un perso à Nemo pour ça.
What do you want from me?
Hop. Tiens, des herbes à sanglots, maintenant que j'en ai plus besoin, j'en trouve.
My apologies. Busted. Stand with me.
Behold! Unsightly insects!
Voilà. Maintenant voilà. Et là, mais toi.
Fun's over. Gotcha. Whirling snow. So rude. I'll settle this. Our bond is strong.
Squall and fury!
Merde. Je pensais qu'il y avait quand les là.
Quietly now. Sakura swirl. Things are about to get dicey. Take flight. Whirling snow. Gotcha.
Bah voilà. Ça je les ramasse, il m'en faut. Enfin quoique. Il m'en faut plus tant que ça. Tac. Là, il y en a encore un. Hop. Et après on va se diriger à l'Ibu. Faire la quête Histoire de Baizhu. Comme j'avais dit, je dois le faire hier au soir, mais j'ai eu un empêchement hier au soir. Je peux pas jouer. C'est quoi? Oh, j'ai plus. Oh fuck. C'est pas grave, j'ai du temps. J'aurais dû prendre nomade. Oh, j'ai réussi à cancel.
The wind rises.
Et voilà, normalement j'ai fait les 4. Salut.
Add Astra at. Thank you for Add Astra. Can't sleep.
Hop, voilà. Et je crois que je ne peux pas me faire de résine condensée parce que j'en ai déjà. Oui. Je peux en faire 3 je crois. 2. Je peux en faire 2. Hop. Bon du coup, J. Ah oui, j'ai encore ça. On fera après si on a le temps. Je vais d'abord me concentrer sur cette quête-là. Moi, j'ai pas annulé. Ouais, c'est bon. À la recherche d'un médecin au cottage poupou. C'est marrant que ça s'appelle ça cottage alors que c'est une pharmacie. Parce qu'en anglais ils disent poupou pharmacie. Je sais pas. J'ai pas d'eau. C'est pas grave. Je ferai 100. Ah, il y a Chichi.
The night is cold.
What's your name, buddy? Are you here to buy some medicine? Where are your mom and dad?
Are you lost?
No, I'm not. My name's Ayu, and I'm here.
Hey there, Chi-Chi. Hi, Quay. What's going on?
Gui.
Hi, traveler.
You've actually come at the perfect time. This little boy seems to have gotten himself lost.
No, listen to me. I'm not the one who's lost. It's my dad.
Your dad? How does a fully grown man
Well, my dad's always been kind of forgetful. In the past,
So...
she went out a few days ago to gather some herbs for my dad, but she still hasn't come back. Meanwhile, I remembered that the owner of Boo Boo Pharmacy always runs a clinic in Chingsa Village during the Lantern Ride. So I thought, why don't I take Dad to Liyue Harbor to see him there? When we got to the city gate, I took a moment to ask the Millith guards for directions to the pharmacy. And then, when I turned back around, my dad was gone. I asked the Millith guys to go find him, but he said they won't be able to send that many people. So
You came to the right place. We're pros. Junction can help. She has a good sense of... Hey! Who's talking about me behind my back?
Sheng Sheng, Chi-Chi meant that as a compliment. There's no need to be upset. Hello, child. You mentioned that you were looking for the owner of Boo Boo Pharmacy.
you have a talking snake? Oh, are you Uncle Baizhu?
Uncle Baizhu.
Uncle Ba...
Sheng Sheng, now's not the time. My dear boy, could you tell me more about your father's...
Yes, Uncle... Doctor.
I see. And your family lives near Chingsa Village, you say? I visit patients there frequently, but I don't recall ever seeing you or your parents.
Uh-huh. My mom doesn't like meeting other people, especially during Lantern Ride. She always...
Is Ayu? By any chance, is your mother's name...
Whoa, yeah, it is.
I certainly do. Gui, Chi-Chi, are there any pressing Ayu's parents are old acquaintances of mine, so I would very much like to assist with the search. Would the two of you have time to join me?
Don't forget us two. We already told Ayu that we'd have.
Oh, really? Well, that's wonderful.
Chi-Chi and I need to clear up the shop front first, but once that's taken care of, we'll be right out to help you with the search.
Family is...
Thank you. Then I'll leave you to handle the farm. Traveler, Paimon, why don't you come with me and Ayu? Let's start.
Ok. L'art des soins. Voilà, faut qu'on aille interroger les Milélis.
We searched to the north, but couldn't find anyone who matched the description.
Well, that complicates things. The city folks say there's no...
Excuse me, sirs. Have you found out anything about my dad yet?
Ah, hey there, buddy. Dr. Baizhu.
The boy asked for our help, so we're here to join.
Oh, thank goodness. We were just discussing how we're running out of... As for updates... I'm sorry to say that we...
The guards at the crossing up ahead said they hadn't seen anyone either, so we don't believe he was heading towards the Guili Plains.
Luhua Pool? The terrain there can be tricky to navigate. Let's hope he hasn't run into any trouble.
You will? Oh,
Sorry we weren't able to find your dad, but
That's okay. Thank you for trying.
Ouais, je vais me taper là. Je pensais que ça là-bas, ça faisait partie de Fontaine. Mais d'après certaines personnes que j'ai pu voir... Oh, il y a un coffre. Ce serait Célestia. Là où il y a les dieux.
A little goes a long way.
Je trouvais ça bizarre qu'on puisse le voir.
Dad! Dad, can you hear me?
C'est lui.
Look, there's somebody over there.
There's something over there.
Oh no, it's... Hey, you! Stop! Don't go any... Watch where you're going!
Où Tao?
Dear customer, Wangsheng Funeral Parlor does appreciate your patronage, but you... Huh?
Dad!
Qu'est-ce qu'elle fait là?
Hey, Hu Tao! My, who do we have here? My worst nightmare. I see she...
Thank you, Director Hu, for saving.
Dad, are you okay? Do you recognize me?
You're...
Your name is Jia Liang, and you live just west of Qingce Village. You were supposed to come to Liyue Harbor to...
Oh, my name is Jia Liang. Liyue.
Uh-oh. He seems in really bad shape. We need to get him back to Boo Boo Farm. Sorry, Hu Tao. Gotta dash. Dinner's on us. Hold on a second. You're not seriously thinking of taking him to Boo Boo Farm, huh? Come on, Baizhu. Don't tell me you haven't noticed it. Didn't your master teach you how to spot the signs? Why do I get the sense that you spotted them right away, but you're planning to use it for your own ends? Use what? What are you talking about?
There are traces of god remains in Jialiang's system.
Yes, but more importantly, they're on the verge of an outburst. If that happens, the consequences will be I'm sorry.
God.
There's no need to worry, Director Hu. I have methods of keeping them at bay. It is the sworn duty of all who practice medicine to cure illnesses and save lives. Besides, it was my late master's dying wish to be able to save this patient in particular.
Now you're bringing my great-uncle into this? Baizhu, just what are you planning this time?
Merely to cure this man, nothing more. But of course, if you have any doubt as to my intentions, you are more than—
Oh, really? I thought I was persona non grata at Boo Boo Pharmacy. You're being unusually generous today. Okay, deal. We're not gonna solve— I'm happy to do it your way, but only for my great-uncle's sake.
You must be pleased you brought the traveler along. Otherwise, this would have been—
Well, time is of the essence. Let's get ourselves back to Boop.
Coupe, retourne dans l'arrière-salle du cottage Bubu.
Blockages within the cardiovascular system, reduced blood flow and energy circulation. I see. I suppose this must have caused the—
Dr. Baizhu, help.
Don't you worry. Baizhu's a really great—
Ayu, do you know when your father first started?
I'm not sure. He's been like this for as long as I can remember. But it wasn't as bad as—
So it's been a long time indeed. No. I have a treatment plan in mind. We can come and see me again tomorrow morning. I promise that by then, Ayu will find his—
Thank you, Dr. Baizhu.
If you still have any misgivings, Director Who—
However, it would be best if you step outside this room. A doctor must be able to—
Yes, of course, absolutely. I'll just go and look at the flowers or something. But I will be back in an instant.
See you tomorrow, Baizhu.
Bye for now.
Are you ready, Bud?
Ready as I'll ever be.
On sait même pas ce qu'ils vont faire. Oh.
You know, Paimon's kind of curious after hearing Baizhu mention those people from his past. What do you think they were like? Yeah, you must be curious too, right?
Trouver quelqu'un qui pourrait vous renseigner. Je vais demander à Chichi.
While I'm idling time on admiring the scenery, the spectacled snake-bedecked docks. Hello, you busy bees. And what do you have to discuss with the funeral director today? Actually, don't tell me. Let me guess.
Guilty as charged. Oh, and also, how come you and Baizhu could tell so quickly?
Huh? I thought I told you once before. Wangsheng Funeral Parlor was first founded to fight back against the vengeful wrath of gods defeated in war. Well, it is a dusty old tale by this point. Long story short, in the ancient world, dead gods were acting up, so our ancestors started purifying the air and burning the bodies of the deceased. These days, we don't deal with the wrath of the gods anymore, but all the relevant know-how is still passed down.
Okay, Paimon gets it now.
Almost certainly from his master, who was also my great-uncle. Baizhu's master was my grandpa's younger brother, a former deputy director of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor.
Wow, fancy that! Huh.
According to my grandpa, he and my great-uncle once went traveling together when they were young. They ended— That pharmacist must have cast some sort of spell on my great-uncle, because after that encounter, he suddenly announced he wanted to leave the family business. My grandpa had a huge argument with him, but he couldn't convince him to— So my grandpa inherited the funeral parlor, while my great-uncle stayed in Chenyu Vale to practice medicine. They—
Funeral director to doctor is a pretty big career change.
If he had just become a regular doctor, there would have been no issue. After all, the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor wasn't unlike our— But according to my grandpa, the pharmacist they met had a very ominous aura about him. And on top of that, the kind of medicine practiced in the Chenyu Vale tradition—
In what way?
Don't know. My grandpa didn't know the specifics. And you've seen how wary Baizhu is around me. he'd never tell me anything. But even that says to me that he... One thing I do know about Baizhu is that he's obsessed with the idea of immortality. But whether that has anything to do with what he's hiding anyway, so I will be sticking around here for now to keep a...
After all that, it seems like we have more questions than answers. Never mind. We'll just have to ask Baizhu himself about all of this tomorrow.
Bah, elle est où, Chichi? Elle est pas là. J'ai jamais fait le tour de ce cloiston, il y a un coffre caché. Non. D'accord. Je me disais marche, et j'ai jamais vu qu'il y a un truc entré. Je dois attendre 8 heures. Oh bah tiens, pile, parfait. Et on voit une Azuma. On voit plutôt bien là sur le sanctuaire de Naokami. Il y a une petite lueur en haut.
It's a new day. Let's go back to Boo Boo.
Ah. Je vais regarder s'il n'y a pas des trucs qui traînent. Au cas où. Un petit peu d'histoire ou je sais pas. Non, je peux juste m'asseoir. Ok. Y'a rien. Au moins maintenant on le sait. Au cas où il y aura un petit easter egg caché ou je sais pas.
Dad, you remember?
Yes, I remember now. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Don't worry, Dad. I got the Adventurers Guild to help us look for her. And Dr. Baizhu's gonna help too. Right?
Great. That's wonderful. I can't thank you enough, Dr. Baizhu.
My pleasure, really. It's the least I can do to honor my late master's dying wish. If anything, I should be apologizing to you for not making the time to visit in all these years.
Not at all, Dr. Baizhu. It's only because Zhongli... What was her reasoning?
You're still in the early stages of recovery, so you'll need to take it easy for a while.
I suggest you stay at Boo Boo Farm.
Director Who, do you have any further reservations about...
It seems like the evil presence is gone after all. You really did manage to suppress it, huh? But how did you accomplish this in a...
That would be a trade secret, I'm afraid. If that gives you any cause for concern, you may continue to monitor. Though I regret to say that Boo Boo Pharmacy cannot offer to reimburse Wang Sheng Funeral Parlor for any revenue lost in the...
Oh, come on, Baizhu. I'm not that unreasonable.
I've been stuck indoors for too long. Baizhu, take...
Yes, of course. Everyone, please excuse
Suffering now, are we? Did you seriously expect to cover it up just by putting on a brave face and ignoring it? If it weren't for my quick thinking, they'd have all seen the sorry state you're in by now. But in any case, why must you keep this a secret from everybody?
Who's there? Why did you follow us here? Oh, it's nothing. I just needed to get some...
What did I just say about putting on a brave face? Traveler, Paimon, the truth is, instead, he transferred some of his own life force to his patient,
to temporarily subdue the poison.
Baizhu,
My predecessors in medicine forged a contract with Changsheng. Every successor to this contract is able to use Changsheng's secret art to treat. I believe the irregularities with Jialiang's heart meridian were likely caused by a poison concocted using god remains as a key ingredient. The poison has not been purged from Jialiang's system. Rather, I infused him with some of my own life force, using Changsheng as the delivery medium. This will suppress the—
Changsheng? You can do that? Huh. Paimon always thought you were just Baizhu's strange choice of a necklace.
Hey, I'll have you know that I commanded the respect of even the Adepti back in Chenyu Vale. If anything, he and I was treating patients with Baiju's master's master long before he ever set eyes on his first.
Whoa. Guess you should.
Please, that's enough.
Wait a sec. Huto was saying that the branch of medicine you studied uses some pretty dubious methods.
Hardly. Changsheng helps to keep my chi in balance, so there is no great harm done.
Still, Baiju's life force is not unlimited. We must find a way to traveler. Paimon, would you lend this dummy a hand? He needs someone checking up on him, or he'll Baizhu, don't you think you should seize this
Entire life. Thank you, traveler.
Huh. Paimon doesn't think we've seen this side of you, but there's no need to.
The poison in Jialiang's system must have accumulated over a prolonged period. Yes. I asked Ayu this morning before you arrived. Let's head there together once as well as investigating Jialiang's
Ok. Ok, je vois parfaitement c'est quelle maison. Aller dans un champ, tout au bout. Non, pas du tout. Je pensais à celle là-bas. J'ai jamais vu qu'il y avait une maison ici.
Whoa. There's a house all the way out here? Huh.
Nor have I. And I've hosted clinics at Qingsa Village many times in the past.
Oh, that reminds Paimon. We meant to ask earlier, but it's...
She was indeed. We studied medicine together under the same master near She is several years older than I and also began her travels far earlier than me. As a result, the time I spent studying alongside her was rather
C'est
short.
clair, je vois pas pourquoi il fait aussi noir sur ma cam.
Supposedly, she met an herb gatherer sometime during her.
Wait, Changsheng, are you saying neither of you had actually met Jialiang or Ayu before?
Jiang Li did occasionally come back to Chenyu Vale to see our master, but for whatever reason, she hardly ever talked about her family. The last time she visited us, she and Master had some sort of quarrel. We never heard from her after that. It almost seemed as if she'd gone into hiding.
Quarrel? What happened?
I don't know. I did not witness the argument myself.
Nor did Master ever explain it to me. All he would say is that should I ever encounter Jiang Li or her family in the future, I should...
Oh, so that's why you went to such extreme lengths to help...
No. Even if my master had never said anything, it would still be my duty as a doctor to help...
Paimon never knew you were so selfless, Baizhu. Paimon though it...
So a few words from me is enough to dispel all your suspicions? You ought not be quite so...
What the... Okay, that was the most suspicious...
Let's leave the idle chatter there for now. Jiang Li has lived it. Let's split up.
Allez, fouillons. Fouillons la maison de quelqu'un sans son autorisation. Oui, je vois du bois.
Traveler, Paimon, come quick!
Oui, je comme quick.
What is this?
Changsheng and I found a hidden compartment. This is what was hidden inside.
Huh. You sense it too? You're right.
Is it breathing?
No, your eyes do not deceive you. I do believe the poison in this spot. Some toxins act a lot like living organisms. I read about this once in the Origins and Symptoms of Diseases. This ancient class of poisons consists of mother. If it's a concoction of this kind we're dealing with, then both the poison in Jialiang's system and this one here are likely minor loads.
Offshoots? So, the main body is somewhere else?
Correct. Whoever is administering the poison can manipulate the source to indirectly control the poisoned individual's behavior and even cognition. Similarly, the poisoned individual will hear, to a varying extent, the call of the source.
The call of the... Wait. So, back when Jialiang ran off, maybe that explains where he was heading!
Only one thing could have been drawing him there. The source of the god remains used...
This is getting crazier and crazier. Hey, why has everyone gone...
Since this poison was carefully hidden away in a secret compartment, the one who concocted it...
You mean... Jialiang? Why would he put...
Think a little harder, Paimon. Someone else who'll...
Huh? So you're saying... It was Jiang Li? Wait, but... That doesn't make any sense.
I agree. It makes little sense. Jiang Li does not strike me as the...
Look at the facts, though. How many people in the entirety of Liyue...
It's too early to draw any conclusions. We should question Jial... Yes. According to the Origins and Symptoms of Diseases, the minor look... So if we can find and destroy the source of these god remains, the point... Do you know anything about god remains in Qingce village?
Even the history books have no record of this. The only ones who'll know anything...
Didn't you used to be on good terms with the Adepti, though? You sure they didn't tell you anything?
Well,
Changsheng's memories and powers are not what they were in her prime. These days, she has to enter a contract with a mortal and share their life force just to sustain her own life. I fear that such ancient events are long gone from her memory by now.
Whoa, what? Enter a contract? Share life force?
hey! Plenty of people would jump at the chance to join forces with a powerful being like me. With my assistance in rebalancing your chi, not only can you extend your lifespan, but you will also be stronger, healthier, and able to eat whatever...
Stronger and healthier? Wow! Baizhu, maybe when you retire, you can let Paimon sign a contract with Changsheng for a few days.
Unfortunately, Changsheng's contract has strict requirements regarding the host's temperament. None of her hosts have ever been exempted from these...
Temperament? Hey! What are you trying to... Ugh! Paimon's mad! You're getting ugly nicknames, both of you! Baizhu, you're... Mannequin Man! Changsheng...
This
is exactly why your natural temperament makes you woefully unsuited.
All right, everybody, calm down. Back to the matter at hand.
With how antisocial they are? If it were up to them, what?
Seems you're as well connected as they say, traveler.
Oh. If you're talking about who Paimon thinks you're talking about, you better do the honors.
You called?
Gets Paimon every time. Aren't all Adepti in the habit of material?
Well, this is unexpected.
Huh?
Baizhu of Bubu Pharmacy. I do believe the lantern right when we met briefly. I was unaware of your true identity. I must apologize.
Huh?
Our paths have crossed once before.
Ah oui,
Sense the
je me souviens.
presence of evil spirits. Is this why you called me? Too often, fervent desires drive mortals to abandon all regard for their own safety. I now know what you seek. It is true that a god's remains are buried beneath the foundation. A vile monster known as the Ch once wrought havoc over this land. Before it was subdued by Rex Lapis, the land was finally cleansed of poison when Rex Lapis used statues in his likeness to seal the serpent's remains. Jinxa Village was founded some time after that. The seal is still mostly intact. If the Ch is the source, then it must be some of its blood leaking from deep underground. However, its aura is faint and barely detectable. You will need to investigate further to identify the location of the leak. I do not like to intervene against mortals unless absolutely necessary. But when demonic forces are involved, things can spiral out of control. If that happens, I do not wish to sway decisions that are mortals to make, but immortality may not be the blessing that you imagine it to be.
I shall treasure your words of instruction, Master.
Farewell.
What a strange Adeptus. Rather different from the way I remember them. That's show for ya! And thanks to him, we finally got some
If the god remains are leaking from underground,
Master!
Quête? Did you run all the way from Bubu Pharmacy?
what happened? Don't
It's Xaurelien. He was fine one minute and then
Already? Based on past experience, he should have been fine for the next...
It seems that my worst fears have been confirmed. Everyone, back to Bubu Pharmacy.
Au cottage poupou. Et je viens de taper dans le micro. Il y a toujours Utao.
Dad, what's wrong? Dad?
Don't be scared. Dr. Baizhu will be back.
How is he doing?
Dr. Baizhu, you're back! My dad was doing fine earlier, but then he suddenly started coughing up blood.
When Gui left, he was still...
Quét, please take Xaurelien to the back room and
Yes, of course.
Don't worry, Ayu. I will...
Il va pas encore trahir son énergie vitale.
He's not gonna use Changsheng's secret art again, is he? Is there really no other way to save Jia?
Dr. Baizhu is still treating the patient.
Il va encore trahir son énergie vitale. Mais il va finir par juste mourir. En fait.
Dad? Are you still hurting anywhere?
Much better, Ayu. I'm feeling much better. In fact, wait, where's Dr. Baizhu? I still haven't had a chance to thank him.
Master said he needed to take a quick rest and asked me to bring you out of the treatment room. He hasn't emerged yet, so he must still be resting.
Oh, I don't know how I can begin to repay.
No, the Adventurers Guild hasn't gotten back to me yet. I'll go check.
I'll come with.
Don't forget what Master said. You're still not out of the woods yet, Jialiang.
Though, on the bright side.
Traveler? Baizhu hasn't shown it. Huh?
Oui, allons le voir. Je pense qu'il a encore fait une bêtise.
You're finally awake? That was far too risky. Even with me.
There was no time. I had no other choice. In any case, Jiang Li's design is quite brilliant. She makes numerous innovations that I can learn.
So, how much longer do you think Baizhu's gonna... They've been outside waiting for you the whole time while you were asleep. Show... Surely he hasn't. Who's talking behind our backs again? Ah! Baizhu! Changsheng!
Of course. There's no need to be concerned. I merely had to transfer...
Jialiang seemed fine yesterday. Why did he need more life-saving treatment again so...
I made an error in my initial diagnosis. Jialiang, and as a result, his life force depleted at a greater rate than...
What? You mean, even if you got all the poison out of him, he'd...
Yes. But more pertinently, the poison in Jialiang's system is their precise... Jialiang has a rare congenital heart condition, and ongoing treatment is essential to maintaining healthy functioning of his heart meridian. Left untreated, it puts the patient at risk of coughing up blood and fainting. And in the longer term, though it was created from god remains, this formula is not a poison in Jialiang's case. Rather, it's his
Had he not taken it all these years, he likely would have...
Still, using poison to treat a disease is hardly a viable long-term solution. As time passed, and moreover, the longer he relied upon this medicine...
That explains why Ayu said his dad has been getting worse.
God remains are extremely dangerous to be around. Because humans have no natural defense, I fear that the situation is just as that Adeptus described. In an effort to save Jialiang's life, Jiang Li...
I never suspected that even Jiang Li would turn to this to sacrifice one's own life to save others. To go beyond human means in order...
Well, I think that it's too early. In any case, I have stabilized Jialiang's condition for now. Her regular exposure to God, and given that she's already been missing for several days, I am...
It's me, Traveler, Dr. Baizhu.
Ah! It's Jialiang! Don't tell...
Dr. Baizhu, please, you've already done so much for my family. I can no longer just sit here and watch while you put... After all, if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't have had to put herself in harm's way in the first place. I know I won't be of much help. I'm sure I'll be able to remember. I know there's a spot where she's...
Be careful. If you get too agitated, your blood pressure and stress levels will rise.
No! We're out of time before I forget everything.
This trip will be extremely dangerous, and there is a very real possibility that you will not return from it.
I never expected to live this long in the first place. My death, there's only one thing I fear now, and that's that I'll forget her again before we manage to find her.
Very well. Then follow me.
Dr. Baizhu, are you heading out again?
Yes. This could be a long one. Could you please prepare a dose of the usual? Please add an extra measure of mistgrass pollen and 1 dose each of the ingredients from the 3rd and 5th compartments of my medicine cabinet.
Doctor...
Hop to it now. And remember to be careful with the cauldron this time. You don't want to burn yourself again.
Okay.
Hop, hop, hop. Le chaudron. La pire ennemie de Chichi apparemment. C'est con de se brûler pour quelqu'un qui maîtrise la glace. Ah ouais tiens, je voulais... J'ai jamais regardé mais je voulais regarder un truc. Genre là par exemple, ça augmente de 14 et de 15. Si par exemple, je mets 3 crayons.
Make sure to keep up.
Non, c'est que 2. Si j'en mets 3, ça change. Ok.
What they do this time?
Ok. Je pensais plus t'avais les personnages d'un même type, plus le bonus augmenté. Alors du coup, les teams que je joue avec 3 trucs de même élément, c'est de la merde en fait.
It's just like the day I went missing. It's as if something inside me is trying to guide me.
The Motherlode's influence is growing stronger. But is it because we're... Jialiang, can you sense which direction the...
I think it's... this way.
This way. Bah, allons-y.
Yes, I'm sure of it. I feel a dull ache in my heart. This must be the way. This place feels familiar. I think I've been here before.
Voici le donjon où on va jouer Baizhu. Baizhu. Baizhu.
I can sense it.
I think I remember this place.
Jialiang, are you okay?
No, I have to keep going.
Allons-y. Alors, Géo, j'ai pas, et d'Andro, je vais avec Baizhu. Quoique j'aurais pu prendre le Traveler, mon voyageur. Qui... Je peux le passer 90, je crois. Mais il est Géo, actuellement.
The digging marks here appear amateur and rather old.
A thieves' tunnel? Paimon had...
Judging by the tools they left behind, it's certainly... But why did they abandon this place without...
I remember now. She took me here once and told... But she... she said that the method...
Easy, Jialiang. A bitter pill to swallow.
Take flight! Our bond is strong! Busted!
Mind the side effects.
Dissipate!
Yeah, ka.
Ok. C'est marrant, le cercle il a pas avancé.
Oh, there's a sensor here. Those treasure hoarders sure made themselves at home.
I I believe this censer was used to burn a monster repelling.
A monster repelling incense?
The incense was burned several days ago. If I had to guess, the monsters no doubt an encounter with the very same entity was what after them. Jiangli was the next person to discover this place and what lies inside.
That's right. This censer, it belongs to Jiangli. This is where I told Jiangli to give me the poison.
Xiaoliang!
I'm fine. Let's keep going. I can...
Ok, let's keep going. Ancien rituel royal, ils mettent toujours ça dans les quêtes. Là, il a son arme, Splendeur d'Azur, qui donne des PV pourcentage. Ouais. Chaque fois que tu ramasses tes herbes avec Baizhu, ça heal le personnage qui est déployé. Pas mal.
I can feel it. We're getting close. We're almost there. It's right up ahead. The place where we made a pact together to...
Aha! We can keep going now!
From the looks of it, the energy released by this mechanism can not only clear barriers, but also be conducted by corresponding mechanisms. Perhaps it's something we can make use of.
Ah. Qu'est-ce donc? Pousser.
A bitter pill to swallow.
Stand with me! Yeah! My apologies! Yeah! Yeah!
Remember, health comes first.
Stars, shine for me. Come on! The night is cold.
Ouais.
Out of my way! Our bond is strong!
Bon, tu sais qui sont. Ah, n'importe quoi.
Game's up, Hanzo. Take flight!
Donc là, je peux ouvrir. Mais qu'est-ce qu'il y a de l'autre côté? Ils auraient pas fait une deuxième partie sans rien mettre. Il y a forcément un coffre ou un truc comme ça. Ouais, ça touche. C'est tout. Je suis un peu déçu. Je m'attendais à plus. Je m'attendais à plus. Oh, pourquoi tu t'en vas par là? Ah oui, non, ok, je vois ce qu'il faut faire. Ça y est. C'est un relais, en gros. Lui, je l'active, va activer lui, qui va activer ça. Je dois descendre? Ouais. Je suis bloqué. Je suis bloqué. Ok. Un géosaure boosté.
Jiangli!
Look out! There's a monster next to her!
The god remains must have lured them here. Watch my back.
My apologies.
My guiding star.
Here comes the catch. Take flight.
Cold. Mine's a
Our bond is strong.
Taking a turn for the better.
Dr. Baizhu, how serious is it?
I can still feel a pulse, but her condition is quite grave. The god remains here are encroaching on her cognition. Much as the poison, if we don't eliminate it soon, then...
Then, what are we waiting for? Let's just... It's not as simple as that. Don't you remember the poison within Jialiang's body is if the source is purged? And the poison with... Oh no.
Indeed. If the god remains here are purged, then your life will come to an end.
I wondered when the state...
Wait! But we've all been working our butts off to save Jialiang, Baizhu. You're a great doctor. Surely
You could continue to take the poison, which would buy you some time. As for Jiangli, maybe...
It appears to me that she was striving to concoct your medicine for you. Right up until the moment when she lost consciousness.
Dr. Baizhu, give it to me straight.
The god remains have reached her internal organs. Under ordinary circumstances, I would give her less than 3 days. But if I were to treat her
But what would... Dr. Baizhu, I'm all too aware of the dangers of god remains. You are not the first to mention it to me. If I continue to sustain my own life using this wretched substance, not only would Jiangli... I know for a fact that I should have died over a decade ago. The fact that I've been around to see how you grow up is already a great blessing from Rex Lapis. If my choice can bring Jiangli back, then...
Jialiang.
After cheating death for so long, it seems I've grown somewhat addicted to life. Traveler, Dr. Baizhu, could I have...
Of course.
Thank you, everyone. And I'm sorry that...
Jialiang.
I am sure that over the years, Jiangli will have tried all the conventional methods known to humankind.
Mortals are fated to grow old and pass on when their natural lifespan runs out. What a crazy situation! Jiangli risked it all to save Jialiang's life, and now Jialiang has to sacrifice himself to save Jiangli!
I've seen many final farewells in my time, but I can never get used to it.
In the human realm, all things must come to an end. Is it not a fitting end to die at least? That's what...
The path they chose was indeed a heroic one. But when I think of those, I cannot help but think that theirs are the lot.
When all this began, we agreed that once Ayu was old enough to help you gather herbs, it would be time for me to go. If you could only see him now. He took me all the way to Liyue Harbor to see the doctor. So, I know that you'll... I've said my goodbyes. My time has come.
As you wish.
It will eat away at both your cognition and your memories. In the end, you'll become little.
I'll take it. At the very least, it will allow me to stay...
Mom, something's really wrong with Dad.
Don't fret, Ayu. I will gather some medicinal herbs right away.
Why would these memories come to mind now? The longer we live... Oh, how I would love to hear...
Jialiang! Jialiang! Jialiang!
Dad, are you awake?
Didn't I... Huh? What are these?
How does it feel to come back to life?
Do you feel strange or different in any way? If so, could you describe it to...
Dr. Baizhu, I thought that I was going to...
Die? You did indeed. As things stand...
I'm a zombie?
That's right. Before we set off, I asked Chi-Chi to prepare an elixir of immortality. With its help, you have been suspended in the space between life and... Of course, this is but a crude imitation of an Adeptus art. I don't expect it to extend your life indefinitely. Whether it will keep you alive for a few days, a few months, or a few years, I am as interested as you. But, however long you have left, I believe it should be more than sufficient time for you to say your final goodbyes before departing the world in peace. I hope that Director Hu finds this arrangement to be a satisfactory one.
An elixir of immortality? How'd you cook that up? Ugh. Leave it to you to work on something like that.
It's a work in progress that hardly lives up to its name, and it would have had no effect were it not for Jialiang's iron will. In the end, I am merely a doctor. I understand very little of the great principles governing life and death and the perpetual cycle of yin and yang. All I know is that if I'm presented with a life that deserves to be saved, I will do everything in my power to save them. And even this would have counted for nothing without Director Hu's assistance. After all, did you not tell Jialiang to show us the way before we set off for Qingce village? Without Director Hu nudging things in the right direction, we may not have found Jiangli in time.
No wonder he didn't mention the elixir back then. I thought he was being frank and transparent with me for once, but apparently not.
Director Hu told me to keep her suggestion a secret, but it seems nothing escapes.
Never under...
All I wanted was to help Jialiang find his missing wife as soon as possible, so that he could be on his way to the afterlife without any unfulfilled wishes making the journey more difficult. Leave it to Boo Boo Pharmacy to snatch the perfect opportunity right out of my hands at the last hurdle. Never mind. I'll just have to put it to... One Chi-Chi was enough of a conundrum. The last thing I need's another one. If I'd known this was coming, I'd have whisked him off to the Wangsheng funeral parlor the moment I found him.
You stay away from my dad! When I grow up, I'm gonna become an even better doctor than Mom and Baizhu, and cure Dad for good!
Oh, is that right? Well, you wouldn't be the first person who's tried to put Wangsheng funeral parlor out of business. If you're serious about it, you'll have your work cut out for you. Traveler, Paimon. I'll catch you all another time.
Is she finally...
All's well that ends well. If you ask Paimon, we should probably do something to celebrate this hard-earned family reunion. At times like this...
It feels like it was a whole lifetime ago when I last talked with Zhongli and Ayu around the dinner table.
Yay! Paimon count! Alright, first things first, off to the market.
Oh, wait up! I'll come too!
Baizhu, thank you so...
Don't mention it, Zhongli. I was just doing my...
Just your duty, huh? Baizhu, Changsheng, would you mind if we...
Et du coup, je joue Baizhu.
Time flies. It's been so long since we bade each other farewell in Chenyu Vale. Changsheng, you're the same as ever. You haven't changed one bit.
You, on the other hand, have changed a lot.
You're right. My younger self would have never imagined that things would one day turn out this way. Or that you'd turn out this way, Baizhu. I've taken a look at your elixir of immortality. It's not altogether dissimilar from the poison I concocted in terms of the way it functions.
I have to say, Zhongli, it was a stroke of genius to use poison to maintain life. I hope you're not too upset at me for...
No, not at all. With your intellect, even if you'd never seen my poison, I believe you would have eventually, but I'm still impressed by how quickly you managed to gain such a thorough understanding of it. Jialiang's still only been in your care for a few days. Not just that, you even managed to improve upon the original formula. That Baizhu, be honest with me. Did you try out some of the poison on...
Huh. Told you the truth would surface sooner or later.
Life force isn't the only thing that Changsheng's contract lets you transfer between bodies, is it?
Nothing gets past you, Zhongli. You are correct. Besides life force, Changsheng's secret art also allows for the transfer of toxins. When I treated Jialiang for the second time, I transferred some of the poison from his body into my own. Not only did this allow me to alleviate the burden on him, but it also gave me an opportunity to study its There is no need to worry about any long-term consequences to my health, however. Now that the source has been destroyed, any remaining poison in me will have already dissipated.
But you took such a huge risk. If we hadn't destroyed the god's remains back there, then... What am I saying? The reason I left our master and went into hiding all those years ago was that he was getting old, and I didn't want him using up any more of his own life force to But in the end, how were my methods any different? I risked one life to save another, and then you tried the poison on yourself too. Are all disciples of Chenyu Vale destined to turn out this way? To live a short life, haven't given away our own for the sake of others? To fight relentlessly against the natural course of life and death, whatever the...
We are doctors, Zhongli. We ought never say that anyone's fate is sealed.
Baizhu, I can tell that, over the years, you've used the contract with Changsheng to transfer many diseases and toxins to yourself. There are so many that, some of them... can you still stop before it's too late?
I think you know the answer, Zhongli. Every one of us...
Hey, food's ready!
Mom, come and join us! The Traveler taught me a load of new recipes, and said even Dad'll...
Yes, darling. Mom will be there in just a second. Hey, slow down, Baizhu. I know I won't be able to convince you, but Please don't forget Chi-Chi, Gui, and all the friends who have
There's no need to worry, Jiangli.
I can...
Baizhu, what did Jiang Li mean by not around anymore? Are you gonna be okay? Every single mortal I've ever contracted with, including Baizhu and Jiang Li's master. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. You said that the contract with you...
It is a...
Long ago, when plagues ravaged the land, one doctor made a pledge to rid the world of pain and suffering. But even the most ingenious mortal medicine could not stay the tide of disease. And after working tirelessly for many years, even his dearest loved ones fell sick and bade their final farewell. Legends told of an herb lord in Chenyu Vale who could cure any illness known to mankind. The doctor sought the herb lord, but found only a white snake, its breathing weak and its power all but spent.
Sign this contract and let our lives be joined. Then I will impart to you the secret art of healing. But be warned, this art will harm your own health.
With means beyond human ken, the doctor could now reverse the process of death. And yet, the time still came to say goodbye. Only now, the one departing was the doctor, his life force spent. His final act in life was to pass on the contract to his final patient, his favorite disciple. The disciple chose to dedicate their life to saving the lives of others. And generation upon generation followed in these footsteps. Since I inherited this contract, I've always respected the path taken by my predecessors, and followed it myself unquestioningly. That is until I tried to use the art to save my own disciple's beloved. She begged me not to use up my own life force. She said that this art is a poisoned chalice, an evil and unnatural practice. She did not wish to sacrifice one life for the sake of another, when both were lives she treasured. Only then did it occur to me. Did I not suffer when my master passed away, just as patients' families do at their loved one's deathbed? Are not the lives cut short by this contract just as worthy of saving as any patients? What is this contract to us? Medicine or poison? Alas, I no longer have enough time left to find the answer. I entrust to your care both Changsheng and this final question. May you find a remedy for this conundrum, which has ailed us so.
Time and again, no matter how much I try to warn them or balance their chi, I can never save them. And you? What's your answer?
If I abandoned the contract and left you without a host, what would happen?
I suppose I'd spend my final moments taking a nice nap on Mount Yaojun. Then I'd be reunited with my old friends and your predecessors.
Then it's decided. If there's a life in front of me that deserves to be saved, why shouldn't I do everything within my power to save it?
Once again, it's the same answer. So be it. Close your eyes. Who knows how many more people will take on this contract?
None. This contract will end with me.
My contract has strict requirements on the host's natural temperament. All my hosts have been most pure of heart.
But when one with an altruistic nature gains access to this art, they are more seduced than the average person by the miracle of overturning the laws of life and death. Though they know better than anyone else the fate that awaits them, when faced with the sorrows of humanity and the pain of losing their nearest and dearest, they are like moths that throw themselves into the flame, seeking a glimmer of hope in a dark world.
So, Baizhu...
I suppose that would make me a moth that yearns for the light. But Chang Sheng's art can transfer pain and suffering between people, but it cannot reduce the total amount of pain in the world. It's just like we witnessed. Either Jialiang feared for Jiangli's life, or Jiangli grieved over Jialiang. I have nothing but the utmost respect for my predecessors, who sacrificed their lives for their principles. But I do not wish to join their ranks, nor do I wish to pass on this contract to anyone else in the future.
Huh? But didn't you already transfer a ton of diseases on—
What makes a poison poison? And what makes a disease a disease? When it comes down to it, are not both If disease is defined as deviation from normal functioning, then who knows? Perhaps the true elixir of immortality could in fact be a kind of poison. Many may view the notion of searching for immortality in poisons and illnesses as a flagrant violation of the natural. I don't want those who come after me to lose their lives to this contract. Nor do I wish for Cheng Sheng to perish from losing her host. Precisely. I will be Cheng Sheng's final host, and the tradition of passing down the—
Even the gods of old struggle to achieve true immortality. First you want to save others, then you want to save yourself. Now you even want to save me. You're getting greedy, Baizhu.
But isn't wanting to have it all? For a selfish moth like me, who's afraid of the flame yet yearns for the light, the only path forward is up towards the moon.
For once?
Dr. Baizhu, traveler! What are you still chatting about? The food's about—
We also have coconut milk for Changsheng and Paimon.
Okay, fine. Let's go grab some food. Paimon has a bunch of burning questions, but they can wait till after we've eaten. I do envy Paimon sometimes. Eating her—
True. And yet, although we call them simple, are such things as these not precisely why we mortals cling desperately to the light?
Ok, c'est fini. Ouais, c'était cool. C'était cool, c'était cool. Hop, allez faire ça. Je dois en avoir 2 à faire, je crois. Je crois. Donc bon, ça c'est de la quête secondaire qu'on se fout un peu. Ah oui, c'est faut reconstituer les souvenirs et tout. Oh, c'est chiant. J'avais oublié ce que c'était. Je peux m'y TP? Non. Ça tombe, c'est souterrain. Ça tombe, c'est le truc que je dois affronter. C'est possible aussi. Mais du coup, avec tout ça, on sait pourquoi Baizhu cherche l'immortalité. Il veut être immortel pour que plus personne ne souffre du pacte. Et continuer à soigner les gens. Parce qu'en fin de compte, son immortalité se résume à avoir une force vitale infinie, en quelque sorte. Mais qu'à chaque fois, il trade sa force vitale contre celle des gens qu'on a besoin. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? Oh, c'est un bruito véreux. Moi, j'ai pas envie d'affronter ça. C'est un défi de visage. De visage. De visée. De visage. Ok. Oh, c'est O. J'appuie sur E. Oh, j'aurais peut-être dû les réveiller avant. Ça les réveille même pas. Ok. Je peux me servir de ça? Non. Ah si. Ok. Il faut l'attendre qu'il passe là. Donc. Du coup, pour les réveiller, il faut que je shoot ça. Voilà. Quitter l'épreuve. Oh, 610. C'est pareil, hein, ouais, celui-là. Bon, j'ai une 4 là. Une 4 et un point de TP. Oh, il y a un dendroculus. Et yop. Allez. Commencer l'épreuve. Ah, parce qu'il y avait la porte, d'accord. Je me demandais ce que c'était du coup. Oh. Je vais m'oublier. Je n'ai plus de musique. Je vais mettre un truc pour me réveiller un peu parce que là, je m'endors. Vas-y, je vais mettre celle-là en boucle jusqu'à la fin. Bon, c'est long. Ok, du coup, voilà, c'est fait. Et du coup, ça c'est demain et ça après-demain. Je l'ai pris sur moi hors Steam. Oh, c'est un coffre étrange. Bon. Maintenant, là-bas.
A blade is like a tea leaf. Only those who sample it many times can appreciate its true qualities.
Ok. Oh, je dois pas en être très loin. Genre là en vrai je suis bien, non? Apparemment pas. Bon, il met l'emplacement en 5 secondes. 23 mètres. Oh, il est là. Tout ça je m'en fous, oui, blablabla, blablabla, blablabla. Oh, je vais me fâcher, creux. Ah ouf. Oh la vache. Voilà, c'est fini. Du coup, ça nous donne 10 primo. Plus 30. 70 primo à chaque fois par quête. Pas mal, pas mal. Bon, il reste 140 primo du coup qui dorment là. À voir, ça c'est bientôt fini. Mais bon, je l'ai fait à 100%. J'ai eu des couronnes? Ça me dit rien. Ah oui là. Ça c'est fait aussi. Du coup j'ai les primo et tout. Ça c'est fait. Ça c'est fait. Et ça, on va dire que c'est fait. C'est pas mal. Bon, j'ai quelques quêtes un peu nulles à faire. Même si elle donne des primos. 2222, c'est un beau chiffre ça. Mon gagnant ne m'intéresse pas sur ce compte-là. J'essaye de l'avoir sur l'autre. J'essaye d'avoir au moins 5 étoiles. Ah bon, ça me saoule. J'ai fait... sur l'autre compte, j'ai fini... j'ai fini... les 4 histoires, les 4 d'archons de... Donc là, j'ai fait la quête avec Yoimiya et celle avec Ayaka. Il me reste celle où... je vais aller voir Raiden et... avant de tabasser. Puis après je vais aller rejoindre la résistance. Je crois que c'est à ce moment-là. Mais bon, j'aimerais bien avoir un 5 étoiles avant de faire ça quand même. Quoique c'est peut-être pas le plus important, je vais peut-être le faire. Et par contre, avant le combat, on va dire final, avec la Signora et puis après Raiden, avoir là un 5 étoiles, ce serait important. Ouais, je pense. Parce que sur l'autre compte, quand j'étais arrivé à Inazuma, j'avais une nomade. Que j'avais eu avec une pity de 55, je crois. Si je me souviens bien. Il y a longtemps que j'ai pas mis à jour mon Paimon.moué. Est-ce que ça fonctionne encore ce truc-là? Parce qu'ils font plein de mises à jour et ça marche pas, ça marche pas. Compteur de vœux. Importation. Copier. PowerShell. Coller. Entrée. Ok. Coller. Importer. Souvent quand je le fais en stream, bizarrement ça marche pas. Wow. Donc depuis le dernier coup, j'ai fait 11 bannières d'armes, 40. C'est pas possible. Je fais plus... ouais, total. Oh, ça j'étais déjà enregistré apparemment. Ouais, tout faire la calamité. Nomad, je l'ai eu avec une pity de 55. Diluc. Au moment c'était Raiden que je voulais. 78. Yilan, j'ai eu 53. Et Ayaka, 65. Et Ayaka, j'ai gagné le 50-50. Ça c'était important. Nomad aussi, mais je le voulais pas forcément. Puis aussi, la bannière d'armes, j'ai gagné le 75-25, mais j'ai pas eu l'arme que je voulais. Terrible. Oh, j'ai bientôt 100 000 primogèmes dépensés dans les vœux. Bon là du coup, les bannières m'intéressent pas. Je sais pas ce qu'il y aura après. J'ai principalement fait des vœux sur les bannières. J'ai 48 000 primogèmes dépensés. Ah oui, non, je mal lu. J'ai fait 300 vœux de personnages. 198 sur la bannière standard. C'est énorme. Donc j'ai fait... Donc là c'est fait 400... Oh, attends, je vais calculer comme ça. C'est revenu. 300 plus 192 plus... Il y a combien là? 75 plus 20. 587 vœux de personnages. Non, ça, non, je me suis trompé. 587 fois 160. Ouais, c'est ça, 93 920 primogèmes dépensés. En 5 mois. 6. Oui, c'est sorti il y a 5 mois sur YouTube, mais j'avais de l'avance sur mes VOD, c'était ça. Ouais. Est-ce que ça balance des IVA tabloïdes? Ah, c'est pas lui. Tiens, je vais le suivre, je le retrouve plus facilement. Donc là, possible banner for 3.8. La Cocomicli, ouais, c'était ça que j'avais vu. Et maintenant, ils font aussi plein de Honkai. Et j'ai vu ça, c'était marrant. Un Ganyu Archon Size, c'était marrant. Ah oui, 3.7. La première moitié pourrait être Yaemiko et Yoimiya. Voilà. Bon, Yoimiya, je la voudrais pas sur ce compte, parce que j'ai déjà un bon main DPS avec Ayaka. Mais je la voudrais potentiellement sur l'autre avec Ganyu. Genre, Ganyu Yoimiya serait pas mal, je pense. Par contre, la deuxième rotation, Al-Eitam, déjà qui revient, ça me semble... Et... Kazuha. Kazuha que je voudrais mettre à la place de Layla. Il y aurait des potentiels... la Cocomicli qui pourrait pop. Et en 4 étoiles, Jongyung, Kirara, Yunjin, Yao Yao, Shangling et Zhu. Yao Yao qui revient aussi déjà. Ça me choque. Je pense pas que ce sera ça. En vrai. Je pense qu'il y aura d'autres choses mieux. Tiens, un des derniers personnages que j'ai vu, c'était Layla. Constellation. Ouais, ce perso là il m'intéresse pas. Ganyu, je me dis ouais, pourquoi pas, mais sur ce compte là, enfin, j'en ai pas besoin. Baizhu, c'est un très bon healer, mais pareil, en fait, le Tandro, le fait que ce soit élément Tandro, ça ne synergisera pas avec ma team. Du coup, parce que du coup, si je prends lui, je suis obligé d'enlever Shinobu. Parce que j'ai pas besoin de 2 healers dans ma team. Tais-toi. Putain, j'ai encore plein de trucs à aller chercher, moi. Mais j'ai pas exploré ces zones-là. 26, 34, 22, 30, 20, 39. Même ici, j'ai pas trop exploré en vrai. Vanarana. Là, j'ai pas exploré trop. C'est quoi, c'est ça? Ouais. Là non plus. Là ça va. Là ça va. Là ça va. Là pas trop. Le couf, pas du tout. J'ai fait l'intérieur, j'ai pas trop fait l'extérieur. L'intérieur du couf. Le couf est à 49%. À mon stage, j'ai plus mes zones, ils sont combien? 76, 73, 90, 100, 59. Pas mal. 77, 78, 67, 78, 77. Oh, je suis quasi partout au-dessus de 65 ici. À part là. Inazuma, ici 85, 51, 70, 61, 42, 40. Ok. Encore un peu d'exploit à faire. Bon, le désert. Les Sumeru, mais... Ils ont pété un câble. C'est énorme. Enfin, je sais pas. En vrai, ils se seraient arrêtés à... Ça, ils avaient pas besoin de le rajouter. Vraiment. Ils auraient pu faire Fontaine. Fontaine qui serait... Oula. Qui serait plus vers ici, je crois. Entre Sumeru et Liu. Mais même si... Je crois, au village de Chins, sur une des hauteurs, il y a un chemin qui part vers là, je crois. Et on dirait qu'il part vers Fontaine. Bon allez. Je vais arrêter là. Tac. Et du coup, prochain stream, je sais pas. Demain peut-être. Peut-être demain matin. On fera du Honkai peut-être. Continuer le jeu. Je m'adresse un peu. Ouais, faudrait que je continue le jeu un peu. Et après, qu'est-ce que j'ai d'autre Ouais, faudrait que je stream demain matin, si possible. Ah oui, j'ai mis les vidéos en ligne. Enfin, je les ai programmées. Qu'est-ce que j'ai fait? Je ne sais plus. Je sais plus. C'est pas ça. Quoi que si, c'était peut-être ça. Donc là, il n'y a encore rien qui est sorti. Quasiment une semaine sans vidéo. Bah une semaine, ça sortira demain. Donc demain, donc 12, 14, 16, c'est planifié. Celle-là, je vais la mettre en ligne, je la programmerai. Ça ferait le 18. Et si je stream demain, si je stream parce que... Si je stream demain... Ça ferait jusqu'au 20 mai. Ouais. Ouais. Il reste combien de temps? Oh, je sais plus, j'ai quitté le jeu. Sur la célébration de la Providence. Il reste 4 ou 5 jours. Donc, ce qui est bien, c'est que mes lives sur... mes VOD tombent pendant l'événement. Alors, bon, celle sur les mini-jeux, elle n'est pas encore sortie. Mais celle sur la quête, elle a fait 15 vues. Alors, la deuxième partie de découverte de la mage, où on a fait les quêtes avec Sorin là, a fait 25 vues. What the fuck? J'ai un commentaire là-dessus. Oh ouais. J'ai répondu. Ok. Les lumières se sont éteintes dehors. Il est 22h. Bon allez. Bon sur ce, vous pouvez me trouver sur Twitter pour commencer. Où je poste mes annonces de live. Et aussi sur YouTube où il y a toutes les VOD du coup. Toutes les VOD y sont. Ça, je m'y tiens. Il n'y a pas une VOD qu'à sauter. Tout est sur YouTube. Il y en a 231. Pas mal. Ouais, sur ce, je vous souhaite une bonne nuit. Moi, je suis fatigué. Et je vous dis à demain si tout va bien. Sinon, ce sera la semaine prochaine. Allez, ciao, ciao.